Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before y'all start,
Yeah.
put your phones on vibrate.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got
well,
that.
Mine is already
Yeah.
Already
He's ready to
automatic.
go.
Bomb.
ready to go.
Let's get it. Can't see this guy at all.
You can't see.
You.
Me?
Yeah, you
I
gotta
can see myself.
Oh, all right, cool.
I'm gonna want the funny hat on.
All right, brother.
We ready? Okay. That starts them. This has been there, Rock That, episode 33, season number 3.
Yes, sir.
I'm here with Prance, and everybody else seems to didn't want to come to work today. So,
Not at all.
Prance, how was your day?
Hey, my week.
Week, day,
You
month,
know.
year?
The day so far, you know, the Sunday has been blessed. The weather has been permittable for a lowlife to pull out the right stuff out his closet.
Pull the pieces out.
Yeah, it's time to layer up and get it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rugby era, turtlenecks under rugbies, layer up with your jackets. It's time to put away the t-shirts and the shorts. You know, so that's the official weather forecast for a low life right now. You know, it's time to change the seasons and, you know, put away the summer and bring in the winter.
Right.
Other than that, the week has been blessed. Last night was amazing. I went to a fundraiser for my boy, Free Q.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Q.
You already know, hard worker, father, husband, hold it down for the community. You know, a lot of people in the low community salute him properly because, you know, he definitely get all the low pieces and keeps it on the low, as it was in the era that counted. You know what I mean? When you could buy a sweater half price. You know what I'm saying? Not putting $200 and $500 on a sweater that just came out.
I need them days to come back.
You already know. So Don, you know, friend of the podcast, Don Keegan.
What's up, Don?
Him and our guest today.
Yeah, don't say his name. Don't
I'm
spoil
not,
it.
but you know, he team mag with me, so you know what it is all day at Flatbush Corner, big up. So other than that, they had a great location, which is my man Equan 7 on Instagram. His restaurant Cherry Cherries.
Cherry Cherry.
Yes, in Bed-Stuy on Malcolm X. And, yo, the backyard of that place is amazing, bro.
The backyard is actually bigger than the actual front of the place.
Yes, but I mean, once you got good food and stuff like that, the restaurant part, it's going to fill up fast. So,
especially in the summer.
but summer and springtime with that backyard, yeah, it's going to be turned up. And he had a couple of events, too, earlier before this event. Like Labor Day, he had an all-white joint where Illinois Scratch and I think Sadat had performed at that one or whatever. But back to Q joint, yo, they was having giveaways, like raffles, like $600 jackets for $10.
Listen, we're going to talk about this giveaway shit.
$10 tickets for $600. Yo, oh man, but you know,
I have a grievance with that, so.
I know. It is what it is.
That, yes.
But you know, how was your week, bruh? My week was what it was.
I mean, you know, I do a lot of stuff. As you know me well.
Yes.
A lot of back and forth, no sleep, trying to get stuff done, hustling. You know, trying to be a better human being.
But you got to do that one day at a time, bro. You know how it go.
I know, but I don't have that many hours in a day.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally have a set time where I got to do this and do that. But anyway, other than that, shout out to my kid Jaleel and Zaire. We went to something out in Queens, like a wrestling thing Saturday, and we met like the guys from the Elite. That's from like New Japan Wrestling and Ring of Honor Wrestling. We met them, took a picture, got some autographs. So yeah.
Shout out Japan, always in the mix.
Yeah. Shout out to my kids, they were awesome.
Yes.
And we had a big bucket of Popeye's chicken. Don't hate us.
No doubt.
Don't judge us.
And didn't the school salute him properly?
Yeah, you know, Jaleel did good on a region. So,
Yes.
You know,
And that's how you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak about it, bro. Speak about it.
Listen, there's so much going on.
Shine on them. You
So
know?
before I get to our guests, I just want to talk about these motherfuckers paying $1,500 for a Palace sweater. A dark blue teddy bear sweater that comes out every 2 months.
Yes.
I just want to know, Prance, what is the thought process behind anybody paying $1,500 for something that's
Well,
common?
you're saying 1,500. I seen on, I think it was StockX.
First it was 10,000.
Exactly. That's what I was.
So who was the dumbass? I just want to know.
I don't know. Somebody is thinking that it is very rare and something that needs to be in somebody's closet for you to put $10,000 on.
Listen,
something like that.
I'm gonna say this.
Come on,
all
man.
that Palace shit is trash.
You're already.
There's only a couple of pieces that are good in that whole batch,
and it's not needed.
Yeah, it's like it's all trash. I mean, there's a couple pieces.
It's not gonna make and break a real low collector's collection if it's in there or not. You know what I mean?
No, and I'm saying, like, listen, for all you guys out there, what I'm saying is trash. There was a bear with a skateboard that came out years ago on a T-shirt, and nobody went crazy over that. But apparently, because you put it on a blue sweater, a blue knitted sweater, I'm sorry, that comes out every 2 months. There's one sitting in Macy's now, a blue sweater with the guy standing up like a jean jacket or something like that. So,
right.
I don't know. I just want to know, if Blake was here, he would he would.
Oh, definitely.
He would go with me, but. All right, I'm just leave it alone. To each his own. Have fun with your $1,500 sweater. I hope you got your ring for the month.
That's the question.
That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, let's get to our guest.
Please.
This guy, he's a philanthropist. He's a collector of polo.
Definitely.
Known him for a while. And he runs contests on Instagram and social media that I never win. So, the one and the only Mr Contestman himself, Ed Michel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm honored. I'm humbled. Honestly, the amount of amazing guests that you guys had in here on the podcast, that I'm big fans of their body of work. I don't even know why am I even amongst them.
No,
I'm just being honest. I don't even know why. A lot of people that you have on here. When I was growing up, these are the people that I was looking up to. Buddha Stretch.
Friend of the podcast.
Yes.
When I used to think I could dance.
Everybody got a little dance in them from back in them days.
So tell the people why they call you Mr Contestman.
Yes.
Because we're going to get into this.
I started a contest on Instagram, and it actually started from two different things.
Right.
We shot this documentary, Haitian Polo documentary, and I got into discrepancy issues with the director. And a couple of years back, I kind of embarrassed myself at Low Goose on the Deuce. Something that I'm dearly embarrassed about. And my mother got to it. My mother saw it. And her thing was like, okay, here we go again with this polo shit. And she said that because years back, somebody had took my whole collection at one time.
Right.
And they took my collection. I actually got it back. I pulled the gun on somebody, actually. One of my other embarrassing moments in my life. Pulled the gun on them and got all my collection back. Then I got a beep from my mom. Back then it was beepers. Came home, I seen my man sitting in my living room with his mother. And then my mother was like, if you have a gun, you need to get the hell up out of my house. Just polo stuff. And then, long story short, I was basically saying, like, you're a grown man and you still, like, arguing about this thing. You need to figure out what you're doing, I always was a giving person, but that conversation with my mom and her seeing it on the internet and also saying, like, what is my friends gonna say? Look at your son, what are you doing? He's embarrassed. So, I just said, you know what, you're right. And then I kind of started to say, I need to think out the box. And thinking out the box was looking at the culture itself and bridging it with different things. Trying to pull out what I call everybody's gifts for that they can actually bring to anything that I'm actually doing, right? So my first order of business was basically to give back to the culture.
Right.
That was my first order of business, and I just started doing these contests. So I would get pieces, and it was kind of like a balance because at one point I truly believed that people kind of cornered the market. Some people couldn't get certain pieces, so it was a way that, okay, you know what, this is a way you pick a number, 1 through 700, you get it, I ship it to you for free.
Yeah, cause little old me, I've tried to win stuff, including last night, and I keep on losing.
I think everybody wins.
No, I get what you said, but this is a grievance now, motherfucker. I gotta win something finally. Like, come on, man. Like,
this is true.
How you gonna sit there? You gave half a Coney Island fucking the whole fucking
piece of team low.
I've known you longer than that. It's how the cookie crumbles.
Oh,
I always tell people that it always comes back. It one piece. I think at one point I was doing 300-400 people participating on the contest.
Right.
The amazing thing with social media is the way you can reach so many different people. So a lot of people went all the way out from Germany.
No, because I ain't mean to cut you off, but at the same time, a lot of people was getting at you and vex at you for doing that because you was kind of messing up the market for the resellers to get their money on because you was doing your contest man thing.
There's a yin and a yang to everything.
Right.
But there were a lot of people behind the scenes that was actually sending me stuff. You wouldn't even understand.
Right.
They hit me up. They'll send me an address. They send me tons of stuff.
Right.
And cause I truly think in giving back, giving back is a selfish act. It's selfish because you feel great when you give back, and you see that smile in somebody's face that you actually, for one moment, you were part of their life and you actually made them smile. So it makes you really feel good. So a lot of people actually was sending me like some random stuff, like people I've never met would send me stuff. Also at the same time, I also took the opportunity to highlight some of the things that was going on in the culture. So if a book would drop, I'll get the book and then have it sort of like a commercial.
Right.
I would do that also.
Yeah, because even when I brought I reissued one of the books that came out, you was one of the first people to buy it.
Yeah. And I just give it back.
Yeah.
As far as people being mad, you can't make everybody happy. I just learned that in life. You just gotta look at making yourself happy. There's always somebody that's not gonna like you for whatever reason.
Yeah, you can't worry about that.
You can't worry about that.
People not gonna like you just because when they see you, they're not gonna like you.
They're not gonna like you.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
One thing my mother always taught me: whenever you do the right thing, you kind of put an armor around you. That they may not like you, but they can't publicly say it sometimes.
True indeed.
Especially if you're doing the right thing all the time, or you try to do the right thing all the time. They may talk about it behind the scenes or to one of their friends or their homeboys, but they'll never publicly even come to your face and say it because then they look salty.
No doubt.
So I kind of feel like sometimes, me giving back is kind of like my armor in terms of where, certain things, certain issues can't actually, be brought up to me or harm's way can't happen to me because
killing them with kindness.
Somebody's gonna look salty.
Yeah, because with the internet, it's real easy for people to be like, a keyboard assassin, as I call them. Sit there and talk all this shit. And they know you, but they'll talk all that shit behind a different name or make a different account.
Oh, yeah, I got my share of those.
You know what I'm saying?
I got my share of those. I got my share of those. And I handle them accordingly. If it's something, somebody's mad, I'm like, oh, you mad? Okay, so I'll send you a hat. And then it's like, oh, wow, he just really did that to me. I had a guy who trolled me all the time. He just trolled me all the time, and I just got tired of it. And I just kind of screenshot his picture, and I'm like, my man, you mad? What size hoodie you wear? And then he stopped trolling me. He didn't even want the hoodie. I don't know what it was. you know, the thing with life is so short. I tell people all the time, you know, when you look at a tombstone, it's the day you born, and that line is so short. I got no time for that.
Right.
True. The other side is just a question mark because you don't know the day of. It may sound morbid, but I try to live my life right now. Is I don't want people to come to my funeral because they feel obligated. I want them to come to my funeral because I touched their life.
Factuals.
You know.
Got you.
Well, that block button is majestic, boy. You gotta learn how to use that. Cause I use that shit often, and it doesn't take much to get blocked. So be careful, motherfuckers, cause we blocking you.
But I mean, like I always say, any word out of somebody's mouth is always positive because of the people that they, even if they come up with negative, it's the people that's hearing it and they is the rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? How they gonna hold you down? Cause they know what they talking is that negative is not the person, the individual. They just talking probably about a instance that happened between them. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, everybody out here good youths, my dude, and come from good upbringing, and know how to move and carry themselves within this. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about Flatbush or what do you mean?
Well, it says a Brooklyn thing, but
you know, I think in general in life, I think what is the biggest misconception, us as humans, you know, we go through a lot of stress and issues, right? And we all do, bills, problems, baby mama, all of that.
Child support.
You know, the thing is, we aggravate ourselves and we get upset about the issue because we don't know the answer.
Right.
You know, once we get the answer, that stress and issue, you think about things that you were stressing about a couple of months ago, it ain't even matter no more. But then you're like, damn, I lost all this sleep for that. Because we can't get that instant gratification. We as humans, we like instant gratification. So we can't figure that out. So, you know, sometimes when I see people, they're upset and act a certain way, I don't take it personal. I don't take it personal because I think, you know, Mark Twain says the biggest 2 days of your life is the day you was born and the day you found your purpose. And that's one thing I truly feel that I found my purpose. I don't know anything but some of the things that I'm gifted in.
Right.
You know, that I feel that God gave me a certain gift in certain areas, and I'm just exploiting them the best way I can.
That's deep, man. See, you were supposed to be on this show. You see what I'm saying?
I keep
talking
on
that
telling
nonsense about you ain't supposed to be on the show.
I'm just being the change that I want to see in the world.
Right.
Being the change that I feel that, you know, I think, you know, especially coming, you know, being part of the culture and the movement, I truly believe we got a lot to offer.
Right.
The issue is we get caught up with the brand. The brand is just a costume. That's just the denominator that actually brings us together. We grandfathers, we got careers, we got lawyers, and we got everything in the culture. But we get caught up with the brand. You know, Ralph Lauren's worth $4.8 million. I know I often hear, well, why he hasn't assimilated himself with the culture. Right. And I said, well, he's pairing up with major players. What do you guys got to offer?
Right.
He paired up, you know, this guy, he does the Olympics. He paired up with America. He partnered up with America. You know, he's paired up with Susan Komen, the Cancer Society. You know, we got to work on things that matter. And I think we're beginning to shift that way. And, you know, and I'm trying to show people that, listen, we're bigger than that. You know, I'm bigger than the brand that I'm wearing. You know, this is clothes. We can't get buried in it, you know.
This is true. So speaking about these clothes, what do you think about the retro stuff?
All right, here's my thing.
Keep it real too.
You know,
keep it 100.
The retro, I truly believe is not made for collectors or people from the golden era. I think in every time, in every, it's like mumble rap.
Right.
We may hate it, but mumble rap will be classic. It will be a classic for that generation, not for our generation. You know, everybody knows, you know, I have a love and passion for young people. So, I tell young people all the time. I said, listen, young people I deal with, I said, you guys are quote you rhyming Biggie, but you wasn't even born when Biggie actually died. So that's good music, right? And we have to kind of look at it from that perspective. Also, at the same time, all of us from that era, we're older now. You got to begin to kind of address yourself. You don't want to be walking around looking like your son.
Right.
You got to kind of, you got to kind of figure that out. You got to figure that out. And that's one thing that, especially with the brand, it allows for that. But you have to tap into that. I think one of the biggest misconceptions with people is change is hard, and they don't want to change. Right? So some of the things we do are regular, right? So as a man goes to a barbershop every day, every week, the same time, and see the same people there. That is it's just they're accustomed to that, right? Or for me, I got this thing, top of the summer, I already know, give me 3 pair of Air Force Ones, I don't gotta try them, I've been doing it for years. Or it's the winter time, I need a pair of black Timbs, cheese Timbs, beef and broccoli, size 8, I don't need to try them on. Because change is hard, Change is hard. It's like the diet. It's not that the diet don't work, it's that we don't want to change. People always blame the diet. The diet works, but we have to change. And as human beings, I think that's one of the things, it is beginning to evolve and change for the better. Because sometimes a lot of our situations and our success or lack of success comes from the daily routine, what you do. I got the same 24 hours a day that everybody else does, but what you're actually doing and putting things in order and saying what matters and what doesn't.
So is that where you come in with your slogan? I see you always putting up "Dare to be different."
Here's the thing. I come from humble beginnings, Flatbush. I'm
all day.
I used to sleep on the floor
all day.
No, I used to sleep on the floor, and there's one thing my mother used to always say: if you want it, you can do it.
Right.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
Of course.
Nobody's gonna give you anything in this world. And she taught me, what hard work means, and also telling you don't have to go with the crowd. I prefer to go left every single time before right. I prefer to go left before every single time, because then what makes me special? If I'm dressed like you, if I act like you, what makes me special? Being a black man, just being a man in this world. One thing they can't take away from you is your last name, unless you change it. And your last name is connected to your family, and you need to kind of uplift your family. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the problem, what it's doing is that, to me, it's devaluing the vintage stuff. Because there's so much of this retro stuff that's out there. Some of it is dope. I'm not going to say all of it is bad. But, it's just, I just think it's just too much. And now it's like, you get all this stuff on clearance.
Here's the thing. Is it made for us?
No.
See, and that's what people are forgetting. You could like something, so I'm going to buy it. But then too much of something's not always good for you.
Right.
And I think sometimes in the culture, we get focused on being first. And being first and having all of this and having all of that, and people don't understand materialistic things is just minor. It has to be bigger than the latest shirt and the latest sweater.
Right.
I mean, if that's what you're about, then you need to figure that out. You're lost.
Yeah, because I'm sorry to interrupt, but like how they say, like, if you want to spend $1,500 for a sweater, you should be able to put $1,500 in some stock or put.
Here's my thing. My thing is, if you got it like that, I'm not gonna fault you.
Right.
If you really got it like that, it's up to the consumer. If I want to sell the sweater I'm wearing for $1 million, nobody should be mad at me. If the person wants to buy it for me for $1 million, it is what it is. A good business deal is when both parties are happy.
Right. That's it.
I'm happy I got my money. He happy he got his sweater. However, yes, I agree with you 100%. If you're spending that type of money and you don't have no life insurance, you have been putting something away from your family.
Something wrong with the picture.
Wrong. One of the biggest things, the hood don't love you. I just keep telling everybody that. They don't celebrate success. Either, it's an RIP shirt or free somebody shirt, right? And the reality is you only could invest in your family. And I think this is something that, in a minority in the community that people need to kind of focus on. Nothing puzzles me more when I know a guy, he's pushing a foreign car and he's the man, and then something happens, he gets murdered, and then now there's a GoFundMe to bury him. I'm confused.
Right.
I'm baffled
Exactly.
right now because you're pushing.
Cause that's the selfishness. He was living for him in these streets, not living for the bigger plan, which is his family and his kids. You know what I mean?
And these policies are not even expensive.
Right.
They're actually least expensive than the things that you're buying. You know, you spend $24, $25 a month on life insurance. It's not a big deal. Make sure your family's right. And you know what? We're behind the 8 ball because guess what? Our other counterparts, they've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this.
Facts.
This is why it goes, the generational wealth goes on and on. They've been doing this. Something happens to a white man, his family's taken care of.
They nice.
The mortgage is paid off. He has it built into life insurance. The college is there. It's built into life insurance. But you know, it's up to the community to begin to educate themselves.
Cause whenever you rest your head, you want your family to be well rested too. While they say rest in peace, you want your family to rest in peace too. That they ain't gotta worry and struggle on how the bills and the rent, you know what I mean, gonna get paid.
Exactly. You know, I tell everybody.
And you want to be the one as the father figure and the provider to give your children that kickstart.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
For the future.
Like I tell people,
Or whatever.
listen.
And yo, I ain't mean to, I'm gonna put it on a light note with the life insurance shit. Like, if these expensive clothes was from back in the days, like how niggas used to get their head chopped off and get beat up for it, niggas would have put mad life insurance on their joint. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
for them clothes.
Well,
you already.
I give some people, if you renting, you get rental insurance and make sure your collection is protected. You know, make sure you take pictures and stuff like that. They will reimburse you some of your collection if you're doing the right thing. And, you know, I tell everybody all the time, listen, if something going on with my family, it ain't nothing. I'm not so in love with these pieces that I'm not gonna give it up.
Right.
Like if I have to take care of something for my family and I have to, you know, put up the bread for it. You know, and I also tell, you know, when you get a good substantial amount, one thing I've learned from my grandfather is always invest in a good timepiece. Because there's a certain amount of money people can't lend you.
Yeah.
But you can always take off that timepiece and kind of go to a pawn shop and actually get a certain amount of money and try to get back on your feet. Because we all have our ups and downs in life. You know, even with savings, you know, you live in New York City. Everybody's like one tragedy away.
Of course.
Before being in the street.
It's hard to save anything in New York.
Yeah.
But I like your word talk too. You ain't say a good watch. You said a timepiece. There's a difference between those two words. It's the same thing on your wrist, but it's two different. You know what I mean? When you walk in that pawn shop, that broker would tell you.
Yeah. I got the
what you got.
It got papers on it, and it keeps its value.
No doubt.
You know, we look at these rappers and stuff like that. You know, the Rolexes and all this stuff. Whatever they are, they wear Audemars and IPs and stuff like that. Those things have insurance on it. They could easily take them off and just go right back and get their money. You know, if they need it. You know, and sometimes it may cost for that. You may have to do that, but at least you know you have something. You know. Just don't get a substantial amount of money and just go blow it. Put something away, invest in something that, hey, you know what? If I need something, I could tap into that. I feel at one point, vintage did have that.
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah.
at one point, vintage did have that. That if you come, you know, on hard times, you could sell 3 sweaters and you back up.
Yeah, you good.
You good. Retros have it. I think it's gonna stop. I think it's just gonna work its course. I'm being honest. My thing is a lot of it is cartoonish to me. I think a lot of it is you know, somebody told me a long time ago. You know, with fashion you have to understand. You got to be very versatile. You know, can you really walk in the White House at that time and see Barack Obama the way you dressed? they're not even gonna let you in.
Exactly.
So you gotta make sure you got some quality stuff.
Certain restaurants you can't even get it.
You gotta make sure you have some quality stuff because you know it's easy here today, gone tomorrow, and then it'll just recirculate itself again anyway.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like you said, it'll run its course. I think we're always gonna have retro something now because you know they got an audience for it. But yeah, I do think eventually it's gonna fade off and
I mean it's gonna fade off. I mean I wouldn't pay some of the ridiculous prices.
Oh no,
negative.
I tell people all the time,
oh, no.
if you can always just wait. Is it that serious?
Yeah, and I saw you saying that on Instagram.
Yeah,
and you were like,
always wait. I mean, here's the thing. The amount of clothes I have, I can't wear them. You know, sometimes, and I'm at a point in my life, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it wasn't for this podcast, I would have came in wearing what I was wearing last night. You know, that's just me at this point. Because I don't think I have nobody to impress but my family.
Not everybody gotta be friends.
You know, I don't got nobody to impress my family. Because I truly believe if people know that I got it, then they know I got it. You know, I live different now. I'm like, listen, you know, back then it was you know, I tell kids all the time, you know, when I show them Paid in Full, I said I lived that era. It's crazy when y'all watch it, but I lived that era.
Right.
And survived it though.
And survived it. And that's my biggest, if anything, my biggest accomplishment.
True.
Is living past 21.
Yes.
You know, because there's a lot of guys that didn't make it, or actually are still behind the wall. You know.
Yeah.
But to turn that around now with all that hard living, now you helping the youth a lot. What
I'm trying to do for young people is what I truly believe the OGs, the drug dealers back in the days did for me. Point you in the right direction. Don't do what I do. You know, they held it down. They did the block parties. They did security for the block.
No doubt.
You know, they made sure they're like, no. You go here. You can't do what we do. And that's gone. Now you can't even say nothing to your neighbor's kid before it's a problem. One thing which the trend, and it's a great trend, is, you know, fathers are being more involved with our young people.
Salute.
You know, teen pregnancy has come down a lot too because of that. They're being involved with, even though they're not, they're working it out. Everybody's co-parenting, and that's helping. And you know, everybody knows I work for the juvenile justice system. You know, and begin to understand the type of kids. Any kid you see on TV, trust me, I come across them. I've come across them one way or the other. We're in Harlem. I come across the kid that had the thing that went viral with the Chinese guy. He took the food and the Chinese guy beat him up. He was actually in my facility.
Wow.
And, you know, and I'm like, okay, you Instagram, you viral famous now. You 1.8 million views. Now what?
Right.
You know, now what? These kids don't know how to read. They don't know no math. They don't even understand how to, you know, how to, you know, I tell them all the time, the first woman you ever fell in love with is your mother. How dare you disrespect her? You only get one. What's wrong with you? You know, and they're caught up, you know, they have the same routine. You know, at least when we went to school. You know, we cut, but we still try to be productive. These kids, okay, I'm gonna tell you how they run through in September. They get their clothes, they go to school, they walk the runway. I call it, you walk the runway for like a week, and then now they're behind the school smoking weed. Then they start missing school, and then they popping pills now. You know, they're doing the Robitussin and Hennessy,
like sniffing glue and
all types of stuff.
nonsense.
It's only 165 days in a school, right? And then next thing you know, they're not going to school. Well, I'm trapping. What are you trapping? How much money do you really make? What are you really doing with yourself?
Nothing.
And you have the parents that's kind of struggling with that. And because, you know, I deal with a lot of young people, and I'm like, wow, you know, you're 16, and your mother is like 32. So you already see it.
The balance.
The balance. That
Right.
They actually grew up with their mother. And so just trying to, you know, help, especially young men, understand that, you know, look at the society we live in. You got to kind of understand there's a time and place for everything. And sometimes they just can't get it. And I really try to teach them that. Try to teach them how to write a resume, how to teach them how to eat in a restaurant, You know, I got this thing I do called Juvie Chronicles, and,
Oh.
and when I do it, and I tell people, people think I'm making fun of young people. I'm like,
Nah.
I'm trying to show you the state of mind of our young people. And I took a kid to a restaurant. I said, you order what, you know, we order whatever you want. And they go, oh, okay, waiter, can I have the sirloin? Sirloin?
Mm-hmm.
You mean sirloin?
Exactly.
You know, and I got hundreds of them. Hundreds.
Right.
Trying to put a book together.
I told you about the book early before.
Yeah, I'm trying to put a book together. Prance told me about
Definitely.
it. And this is the state of our young people. You know, I got a book beyond people think, he loves Paul and art. Not as much as I love young people.
But not to cut you on that too, but even the influential people that for the youths you bring down to your program, your facility,
and that's
have inspirational.
Yeah, that's the bridging I do now.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
the bridging.
Talk about it.
So
bro.
you know, I had Scott come down.
Mm-hmm.
I
Shout out,
have
friend of the podcast.
Alfred come down with his book, and just seeing a person of color write a book for them, and it's also related to hip hop. You know, they grasped to that. I had the Cast of Money and Violence.
Shout out Mo.
I had Major Hype.
Yes, sir.
I just had a list of people. I had Don come down anyway. You know, they saw his story, and then I had him come down. And it just made them understand that, hey, we were there too. We were where you were at too. You know, and this is just one line in your life. You can do much more.
Definitely.
You know, tap into your resources, tap into your gifts. We live in a society, you know, when I was growing up, either you had to be a doctor, lawyer, or a nurse. That's my household, right? Now, you have the opportunity to make money with anything. As long as you're gifted with it, and you're gifted, and it's a need, there's a market for it.
True.
There's a market for it, and tap into that.
Right.
You know, find your gift, tap into that, and do right. You know, and that's what I try to focus with young people.
That's facts. Hold on. Cool. But anyway, on a lighter note, what's that joke thing you used to do? Was it new low or
Newcomer low.
Oh yes.
That was some hilarious shit. Because I know a lot of newcomer lows.
Here's the thing. I think, everybody know I'm kind of opinionated in the way I want.
Heavily.
I want the culture to kind of move, right? So, listen, I embrace everybody. You know, I think there's always been the division between somebody that wants to be accepted versus people that's around that don't want to accept them, right? I think newcomer low is everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah, and I'm gonna explain to you why newcomer low. I'm
now.
gonna tell you why newcomer low is everybody.
Prance is a newcomer low too?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he gonna
newcomer low
like
because when I was shooting it,
when
I was shooting it, I gave different aspects.
Okay.
And the aspects was what was going on in the culture, right?
Okay.
May be, oh, I wanted a sweater. Me and you made a deal for the sweater, but you didn't give me the sweater. You still play a part of that.
Right.
You didn't give me the sweater. Now I'm upset at you, right? I had a skit about that. I also had a skit about...
What was the skit with the refrigerator? Where you... Oh, I got...
Yeah.
Well, I got a suicide.
Yeah.
I got...
That's like, well, you know, hey, you know what? I feel that the pieces are more important than my livelihood. I open the refrigerator, I don't got nothing to eat. I'm starved for 2-3 weeks because I wanted $1,000 sweater. You know, so I gave different perspectives, and that's why I said newcomer low had a portion of everybody. It was just, and at that time, I truly believe there was this big thing with the reseller market, and this is my opinion. I think at one point, you know, Andy had that market cornered, right? And then I think
shout out to Andy.
You know, I think people kind of branched off. I think Q was one of the first that branched off. So I know Q was doing that since the '90s.
Facts.
You know, and Don, I know Don for over 20 years, and he's been doing it for the '90s.
Q and Don was doing their numbers.
Yeah, but they were always fair.
Right.
Now we had dudes, I don't know if they're trying to buy a Bentley and they're trying to, but then I also know that some of them have their own situation. That's why I can't even really fault them, because, you know, I've talked to some of them and they tell me their story, like, yo, you don't even understand, like, I'm living in a room right now. I'm just trying to hustle and get in my apartment. And I could understand that. That's just my human side.
Right.
And that, to me, that character was just giving a perspective of everything in the culture. Because the funny thing is, you mentioned it, when it dealt with resellers, and I was doing a skit that would talking about how they go through things, I was getting hit up, yeah, you know. But then when it was opposite, that was against them, then it was like, oh, yo, hey, what you doing? Right? So I was trying to, you know, it was a different perspective, right? You know, don't call me and ask me, what size is this? The size is right there. You're playing. Right. You know, you're wasting my time. Don't tell me about the price when the price is there. Right. You're wasting my time. So I was just shooting the different perspectives.
Yeah, that sound like Prance, the one who said it when you said corny, like, what are you doing?
You know, that was the whole process of it.
I always chop it up with Ed. Whether it's a big up or damn son, who got you mad? Because sometimes he be kind of vexed on IG. Like I be seeing in the layout when he put that dare to be different, it's for a reason. I be like, yo, you good? Everybody alright?
Nah, I'm human. I'm human. And that's one thing I told everybody. I don't care. Call me ugly, call me short, call me corny. No, don't play with my integrity. Right. That's all I have. Right? It's my word, my integrity. You don't have to have anything, but your integrity and your integrity go a long way, right? I would say, hey, you borrow $1. You're gonna give it back. I'm gonna give it to you because that's his word. Right. If I get my integrity, whatever, I ain't giving you shit. You know, you ain't gonna give it back to me. And I'm big into that, and you know, and I think in the culture we spend a lot of time on negative stuff.
This is true.
And I try to spin it into something positive. You spend a lot of who sold this, who got this, that. I hate to say it's like whole tendencies to me. Ooh. It's like, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. We spend a lot of time on negative stuff. Right. And my thing is, okay, it's negative, but there has to be a positive side. Let's kind of look into that. Right. And that's the reason Ralph is not partnering with us, right? Because guess what? We're deep. And in this culture, everybody knows everybody. Right. And when I say everybody knows everybody, they may not know you to have a conversation, but they know your face because social media has given us that access. Right. They know who you are. They know who the major players are. They know all of that, but that's what they know. How about having a conversation with a man, what he's about? You know, let's talk about something more than polo. Let's talk about, hey, you know what, yo, I got a link in my job. Yo, you need a job? Or, hey,
Facts.
You know what? Oh, you know, I know Prance do construction and remodeling.
One and done construction.
Hey, yo, I need my basement done. Yo, talk to Prance about it. You know what I'm saying? We get stuck. How many times you want to talk about a teddy bear sweater? It's repetitive. How many times we want to talk about this clothes? You know, we get caught up, and this is what I do in my programs with young people. I go outside what the urban community norm is. Listen, I'm not doing basketball. I'm not doing rap music. You guys do that already. Why am I repeating that? For what? You do that already.
Facts.
No, let's go. I'm gonna take you to another state. I'm gonna show you Virginia. I'm gonna take you to DC. Let's talk about politics. I'm gonna show you something different. I'm gonna take you. I think that's the biggest gift you could give a young person, right? I used to do it for my family and friends and buy all these Christmas gifts. I don't even do that no more. I'd rather give them a gift of experience because you're gonna always remember that. I'd rather say, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna pick this day. We all gonna go roller skating. But guess what? You're gonna always remember when I was with my family and we had fun going roller skating. That toy is gonna be in the corner somewhere. It's gonna be in the garbage 3-6 months from now.
You know that's right.
It's good to open up the thing, but hey, a gift of experience is the greatest gift that nobody can take that from you. You know, nobody can take your knowledge from you, and that alone, everybody's one handshake from becoming a millionaire. All you gotta do is meet the right person. You know, you just, hey, they like what you have to say, and it's doors open up like this. But you gotta put yourself in a position, and you have to have something that you have to have something to offer. Right. You know, and I think everybody has something to offer. But sometimes we get blinded by nonsense that don't, things that shouldn't even matter to you. I shouldn't. Oh, he got that hat. I wanted that hat. I'm mad over him because he got the hat. I didn't get that hat. So what? He got the hat. I don't have it. Okay, it's a big deal.
So Ed, talk about some of the, I know you do a lot of fundraisers and stuff for like Haiti and stuff like that. Talk about some of the ones that you do or are involved in.
I sit on the board called 4H NYC, and we do book bags and stuff like that, toys and stuff like that for the kids in Haiti. I paired up with RLPC. We do their book bag drive. 2 years ago, I did a back to school festival.
Shout out RLPC.
So I'm big into partnerships because sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already there.
True.
It's just bringing it. I paired up with It's From the Soul. I paired up with Andre.
Shout out Andre.
With many things, because some things is just right there. You just gotta. You'd be surprised. Like people don't understand that. You know, some of the things are already there, and you just kind of pair it up and do it. You know, I paired up with Andre because I just found like I had all these sneakers, all these things, I don't even wear all of this stuff.
Right, no doubt.
Put the bag and give it to him. You know, these are different things that I try to do. I've given 600 cases of water to Puerto Rico. And, you know, my thing is, it's two things. One, the selfish part of it is, for me, I'm just trying to balance my wrongs in life. You know, my wrongs, so that's why I do it. Balancing my wrongs, that's the second, that's the first part. The second part is you never know when it's going to be your turn. And you gotta understand, you know, if you're selfish, don't expect. I'm just keeping it real. If you can't help other people, nobody's gonna help you. You're gonna be just alone. You're gonna be alone. And we all need each other in this world. We're all 6 degrees of separation. That's why Facebook worked. Because everybody's 6 degrees of separation.
True.
You know, I know somebody ever walk into a party and you realize that, hey, wait, you know this person? Oh, I know this person. Oh, we all know the same person. It happens. Guarantee you, all of us that sit in here, we know somebody that we just all don't know that we all know.
True indeed. True.
It's just it may happen in life where we happen to, you know that person or not. I think in life you only maybe 3 times you get to, because you have different levels of people you're around, right? So you got, you know, you have different levels. You know, I got the polo community, but then the polo community cannot mix. Some of them cannot mix with my job, you know. And some of them can't even mix with my family, right? So what happens is when you become the conduit that one time, only a couple of times in life where everybody will be there, right? Say if you're getting married or a major thing with your child, definitely in death. That's when everybody is there because you're one person, but you have multiple people, multiple groups of people, I should say, that you deal with, and not everybody can deal with each other. You're the common denominator, right? You're the common denominator. So it's like I go to work, like, oh, you always wear polo and all of that. They don't understand it. It's okay. They don't understand it. I understand it. They don't understand it. But then it's like it's the same thing. If I would bring the polo community to my job, they wouldn't understand like what we're trying to do with the kids. You know.
It's a slippery slope, I should say. Cause, I've been here now for 20 years about, oh, why you wear that polo? What's going on with that polo? Blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up.
No, well, you know what it is? We got to change the narrative. You know, and listen, and people can hate me for what I'm saying, but I'm going to speak my mind. Constantly, you Google it, it's going to say gang from New York.
That's true.
It's going to always say that. But guess what? It's cool because everything negative, everything in this country started from a negative. Everything. You hear the name Kennedy? Come on, y'all. If you don't know your history, go to school. Come on, they were bootleggers.
Yeah, but
now they're America's family.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They were bootleggers. His father was a bootlegger. You know, and he worked himself up and said, hey, one of my kids are going to be president. You know, and that's what. So everything came from a negative. So we gotta kind of begin to push that narrative.
And my whole thing with Mr. RL, Mr. Ralph Lipschitz from the Bronx, that's how it starts. right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like us. That's the rags to riches story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not I'm a polo enthusiast. I'm very opinionated, and I just kind of look at things in perspective. There's a lot of teams, there's a lot of crews, right? See, the teams and crews are forced by the culture. Well, that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're forced by the culture. Because why? Because I don't like you, you don't like me, you did something to me, so I'm going to go over here. Or we may have similar personalities, so I'm going to go here. So that's where, when you look at everybody and you look at the different teams that they have, it fits their personality. It fits their personality. It does not. When you look at every team, you can look at why they're on that team. And that's I guess that's my insight that I bring to this culture, because I look at things like that. If you look at every team, and I won't go through names and say, look at this person, look at why they're on this team. But if everybody look at it, they're similar in personalities. There's similar personalities on teams. That's why the culture forced these teams, right? Now, each team has their own thing, and there's a competitive nature, which is great. I truly believe in competitiveness, because it makes you greater, right? You don't get better playing a scrub. You're not.
Facts.
The scrub's gonna get better. You just feeding your ego.
Still gotta start sharpen steel.
Exactly.
All day.
So, but then at the same time is for each team to put whatever issues that they have with each other and the OGs and stuff like that, and say, all right, you know what? Let's collectively start working on things. One of the most greatest thing I've seen in a long time is the whole benefit that we did for Don Q. I've never seen so much reposts on that one flyer. And that's what should be with everything. Anything positive we do in this culture, everybody should be reposting it.
Real, recognized, real.
And that reposting it is support. That's all. You don't gotta give money. You don't have to do anything. The fact that you repost is you took time out of your life and you stopped and you reposted, right? And I truly believe in anything we do in this culture that's positive, everybody should be doing that. And that is when he's going to come to the table. For now, for what?
Right, because he feels that he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. $4.8 billion for what?
Yeah.
I don't need you. I don't think people understand how much $4.8 billion is. I don't think people understand that. His kids, his grandkids, they're never going to work again. So what are you going to do? Right? So you think, you would want that you say, you know what? Yes, the culture had a great part in your branding. And it wasn't called branding back then. And where everybody was wearing it and stuff like that, because back then there were pockets of people wearing it, right? And everybody knew. Even if you wasn't a low life, they said you was a low life back then. Even if you wasn't a low life, oh, you must be a low life because you wear a lot of polo. And that it just caught on. It just caught on like wildfire. And I truly believe that at this point, it's just support it any which way. You don't gotta be. I think there's a niche in this culture for everybody, and you just gotta find your niche in it, right? And I think everybody just gotta support each other.
Right.
If we support each other, he'll come to the table. I truly believe that eventually he's gonna come to the table.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of me and Prince's friends, Devon Bradley, he was able to get him to the table and do a lot of stuff with him. So it's actually, like you said, it's possible, but you just have to have the right avenue to approach him and have an idea for him to actually say.
It's not even that. One thing people don't understand: if you don't got nothing to offer, nobody's gonna come to the table to you.
But regardless, even if you go to the table, you better have something correct to bring to the table, like you saying.
I think all the information, everything is there. I think people just don't pay attention to it, right? So if you look like, I remember in the 90s, late 20s, Jay-Z used to be in the Ark. Jay used to be in the Ark, okay, in Brooklyn, performing, right? I used to see Diddy and them in Cancun.
Right.
Which Ark? By Sears?
By Sears. I used to see Diddy and them in Cancun. Memorial Day. Like, they just used to walk around like that. Now you can't even get to these guys.
Right.
What did they do? Is it the money or they learned to evolve? Right? They learned to evolve and they kind of started separating themselves from certain things. I truly believe that. They started separating themselves in certain arenas and say, you know what? If I want to be successful, I'm going to have to do this, right? Even 50 had to do that.
Yo.
Who would think now 50 would wear suits? It's business. It's business. You know, it is what it is. And we have to kind of understand people think it's like selling out or something. It's about evolving.
Facts.
You're going to have to evolve. Right?
And evolving means people, places, and things.
Exactly.
Remember that.
Now, if you're okay with where you're at, I don't fault you. Right? If you're okay being where you're at, because success is achieving your goal.
True indeed.
It's not money, house, car.
Talk about
if you're happy with where you're at, cool. But if you want a certain amount of success, you're going to have to continuously evolve and continuously evolve. I always bring Jay up because his evolution is incredible to me. You know, he's the epitome of dare to be different.
Shout out Hope.
You know, and the reason why is I'm looking at it like, yo, I used to see this guy in an arc, right, all the time, and just continuously evolve. And you know, they have their opinion about the situation with him and Dame, but when you look at it, as soon as he cut him off, he just kind of elevated to a whole nother level that we can't understand. And what is he doing? He's still rapping. All he's doing is he's just continuously evolving and making it better. Anything he's involved, he's still rapping. He just added a newer component to it, right? You know, okay, now I'm going to introduce you guys to art, because I guess you guys don't understand. There's an art world, and I'm going to partner up in the art world, and I'm going to put him in my video. So I got that market locked down. I'm going to go to the Yankees, America's team. I'm going to do a stadium concert right there, shut it down. Not only even that, I'm going to kind of get a Yankees hat with that involves my album, right? Continuously partnering on different levels, and that's what he's continuously do. And I think some of us have to begin to understand that. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of mirror what he tries to do, that with constantly partnering up with people that I feel that has the same mission statement as me. But then it makes it, the groundwork is already laid there, and we just come together, two heads, and kind of push forward.
Sure.
So, what new projects are you gonna be working on for, like, let's say November, December, January? Like,
I'm taking a break, a little break.
I was about to say that because you just put down like mad miles. What was it? 26 point what?
26.2.
In the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, definitely talk about that.
Salute that one.
We can't forget about that.
For real.
Once again, like I said before, is a partnering up, right? So running a marathon has been on my bucket list since high school. I started track. I always wanted to run a marathon. Well, my young people, we work with this agency called Gallup, New York City, and through horsemanship, they deal with children with disabilities, right? One of the greatest things, like I said, could you imagine, besides the black cowboys, but black young boys knowing how to ride a horse, right? And they work there, they learn how to ride horses, they take care of the horses, they fall in love with the horses, understanding that life is bigger than them, that you could take care of something else. 3 years ago, right now Gallup is located at Linden and North Conduit, where the black cowboys used to be. 3 years ago, they used to be at the riding academy, right off the belt. And two of the facilities got into a major brawl, some gang nonsense that these kids were talking about, and they destroyed that place. I mean, they destroyed it. When I actually pulled up, it was just, it hurt my heart to see all of them on the ground in the dirt, and you got the state troopers had their guns pulled out because they really destroyed it. And the most remarkable thing is those people didn't turn their back on them. They accepted them back. And they accepted them back every year after that. And I always think about that. And they had a marathon team, and I said, hey, you know what? This is gonna check the bucket list. Also, I'm gonna help these people raise money. So why not? And that's how I got involved in it. And then I started to focus and train. I think anybody could do the marathon. It's an amazing experience. Right. I think the run the run is just secondary to New York City. New York City is incredible, and it was the love you get in the marathon is incredible. And you know, so what did I do? You know, I completed something that 1% of America hasn't done is a marathon. But I also raised money to an agency that partnered up with my kids and gave back to them. So just constantly partnering.
Now with the whole marathon thing, is it true that, because I know a couple people that ran it, that you have to run like a smaller marathon or something like that?
Here's the thing. I think.
Or is it when you get sponsored, you don't have to do that part? I know because I know
you gotta build up.
Somebody that did it, they had to do a small marathon first.
No, you can. There's several ways you can enter the New York City Marathon. Number one, they have a lottery from January 14 to February 14,
right?
And you can get picked through there,
right?
And then they have a lot of different charities you could run for, right? But in order to run for a charity, you have to raise a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So I had to run for Gallup, so I had to raise $3,000 to actually be
qualify,
allowed to qualify to run, to secure my space.
Right.
Wow.
And it was worth it. I felt that, you know, I'm giving it to something that I personally deal with. I personally deal with Gallup.
Right.
So it was well worth it. You know, people are like, wow, how am I gonna raise $3,000? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Fuck, hey, yo, I'm running a marathon. Can you give me $10 and just go around, and then eventually it gets there. In terms of training, it's just more of a commitment. I think people, the biggest misconception is they think they're the Kenyans, that they're gonna be elite runners. No, you're not. You're not even near them. By the time you start, they finish because they already start 2 hours before you. Right? You know, then the masses come in, right? Staggered, right? And to me, just seeing the type of people from prosthetics, I mean, senior citizens, 80 years old. This is my 29th marathon. You know, anybody can do it. It's just having the will. It's all it's really mental. You know, you got to train. There's a lot of misconceptions on the internet. I learned that the hard way because it drove me to a level of anxiety, reading all types of stuff. And you know, it drove me. I think the last 3 days before the marathon, I didn't really sleep at all because I kept reading it, all this misconceptions. And until you do it, that's the only way you know. Oh, you know, you're gonna get to mile 20. You're gonna hit the wall. This is gonna happen to you.
So, what was you thinking when you was out there running?
I'm gonna be honest with you. For the first 18 miles, I was loving New York. It was amazing. You know, you get, you know, the gun goes off. You know, they sing Star Spangled Banner. The gun goes off. Then you get to, you know, the top of the Verrazano. You see the tugboats shooting red, white, and blue. You get to Bay Ridge, and they got cannolis, pizzas out there. People are high-fiving you. You run through Sunset. They blasting Mark Anthony. It's just amazing. I mean, every demographic area represented. You get down to Fort Greene area, Bushwick Lockman Band is out there. Williamsburg, got people giving beer and shots.
On the run?
On the run. You know,
listen, wait.
Y'all running next year.
You gonna be running and you get a fucking swig of like
ready?
I seen people do it. I've seen people do it. Mile 18, this lady had like trays of heroes. I see people picking up, and you know, it's just amazing. You get to the Bronx, you got break dancers right there. You got South Bronx. You got DJ. Amazing. It is amazing. Very.
Listen, Ed, they give me a shot of anything, I'm stopping.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. I guess for me, you know, around mile 18, one of my knees is. And I knew that, but it was just like it was now or never for me.
Right.
I knew that, you know, I was suffering an injury, and that was my biggest anxiety. In mile 18, it started ballooning up. You know, it's still kind of swollen now. And my thing was like, you know, a couple of things. Number one, I didn't want to let my young people down.
Facts.
Not even anybody else. Not even myself. Them. Because they were like, the first thing they was like, you gonna run a marathon? You crazy, Ed. Until the day when they I left they were leaving for school, and I ran to the school, and they drove to the school, and I beat them there. And then they were like, yo, he's serious. He actually ran to the school. And for me, with the young people, was showing them that anything is possible. So they watched me go through the process. They watched me lose weight. They watched me come in. I spent I spent now doing it is a lot of commitment. I don't even think for a couple of weeks I didn't even wear regular clothes. It was just running clothes all the time.
I seen you repping that New Balance.
Yeah,
I seen you.
Just tights and stuff like that,
Right.
and learning about myself, my body, learning about running and techniques like that. And they saw the level of commitment, and I wanted them to understand that, you know, anything that you really want to do, you got to put yourself and educate yourself, commit to it, and commit and accomplish. And that was the biggest thing. And I knew they couldn't be there because it's a juvenile facility, but I knew they were tracking me. Because there's trackers on your number, and they could see me. And I knew that the biggest thing I could do is not finish. And even if I'm hurt, I would have had to finish, because then it would dispel the myth that you could actually do it. And that was my biggest thing. It was like, hey, you know what? Knowing that they know that, damn, you know, no matter what, he finished. And I felt that was important. That was one. The second piece was just all the people that supported me, letting them down. Like, how do you turn around and say, I know you was going to do the marathon, but you didn't complete it, right? And so, you know, that kind of pushed me, and New York City pushed me. They cheered you on. I got right here to Harlem. I think Harlem's like mile 20 or something like that. And they, just push you to finish. And, you know, and just my will, my stubbornness. You got to be stubborn to do it. There's a part of you that got to be stubborn. And I'm like, listen, you know, I'm just back and forth in my mind, playing with my injury, that I might have a stress fracture, and I might break my leg while I'm doing this, playing back in my mind. But then I just kind of just zoomed it out and just kind of focused on finishing.
So how long did it take you to finish overall?
Wow. I thought, the funny thing is, I thought I finished in 5.5 hours.
Right.
But I didn't finish in 5.5 hours, because they so organized. So I got a email.
Right.
It took me 6 hours and 51 minutes.
Yeah, straight running.
No, actually I stopped, shuffled. I had to shuffle.
But you did that.
And of course, because I'm stubborn, because of my injury.
Right,
so that's why I'm going back next year. I said,
year.
I'm doing it
Trying
next
to beat
year.
your time.
I said, yo, no, I know I could beat my time. I ain't trying. I know I could do it under 5. So I'm determined. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna raise money for Gallup or for another cause, but I'm gonna, you know, figure out what cause I'm gonna run for. And you know, and that finishing at that time is finishing under 5.
So it sounds like you got bit with the marathon bug. Basically.
I don't know if it's the marathon bug. I think with me it's and I try to, if I don't feel that I gave 110%, then I gotta do it over. I gotta do it again. That's it.
Right.
That's just me with anything. If I don't feel that I gave up, I want to know that I left everything on the table.
Right.
Once I left everything on the table, I'm satisfied. Then I know that I got injured, so that kind of gave me that question mark. Yeah, I finished. Yeah, you know, it's all good. I didn't know how big deal of it was until I finished, because there's a whole nother. It's like you get in a whole nother class with marathoners. Like they see that medal. I'm walking around. You know, my coworkers took me out to eat, and it's just like, oh wow, you finished. And then other marathoners just saluting you, because they know, you know what it is.
That shit ain't no joke, man.
You know, but you know, I like I said, I actually did it to raise money for them, and more importantly, just to show my young people that, you know, anything is possible. You know, and for them to actually see the process was amazing for them. Because they watch me like train. The same group of kids watch me train for a couple of months. It's like, oh wow, you're losing weight. You know, they watch me eating differently, because sometimes I eat dinner with them. Like, no, I'm not eating that. I'm on vegetables and stuff like that. And they're like, you know, because I truly wanted them to understand that you can do whatever you want. You just gotta commit to it.
Right. No, you definitely hit that right on the nose. Hey, Prancer, what does that timer say up there?
We got an hour and 8 minutes on deck.
Okay,
so it is what it is.
We're about to wrap this up. So, Mr. Ed, tell the youths of the world where they can find you on the social media networks.
Polo since '92 /_contestman. You know, anytime you can hit me up there if you have a question. You know, especially if you're a young person, you have a question, you know, I could try to point you in the right direction, try to use my resources in connecting you to anything Also, anybody that's positive, that's looking to young people, I host this thing called First Mondays at my facility, and what I try to do is I just try to get different people to come down. I name some of the list of people that come down from different walks of life, because we all have a story to tell, and that story is very beneficial to our young people, and it'll help them captivate and motivate themselves to get to the next level.
Flatbush Corner over there, Mr.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Recorder.
How you mean? Yeah.
See
Yeah,
you,
we
man.
went live for a minute though,
Yeah.
because a lot of people wanted to hear this one, so salute to Ed for coming through
And
on a
speaking
Sunday.
the truth to the young black
And
people.
definitely salute to the new location from our man Kamal Nuru.
Yeah, this is nice.
You know what I'm saying? We got a new location uptown Harlem. Salute to our new engineer, Neek. You know what I mean? That's my dude from
Thank
day
you.
one.
Thank you.
Salute to Keizo.
Kayzo, we see you rocking
He
that
out in
polo.
Philly right
See what
now.
you doing.
You know what I mean? He doing his thing in these streets right now. He got the Barber World TV podcast going on. It's crazy. So this might be a new home in and out. You know what I mean? We BK, New York, we Queens, we everywhere.
We everywhere.
You know what I mean? But Prance Low 24/7 on IG, Church Ave Corner, any one of them, or in a dollar cab, you can see
Sheesh.
all day. Factuals. Yo, John Green, what it do? Polo Pirata.
Let me see. You can find me on Instagram, Polo Pirata. Double J Ventures is the store on eBay. We have the tote bags, we have hats,
Facts.
we have pins.
Facts.
So feel free to support and buy something.
Please do.
Ed, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I want to ask you one last question.
Go ahead,
I want
shoot.
to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Are you low like me?
No, never.
I just wanted to ask that if you were
Never.
low life news, because I wanted to dispel the rumor that you may be on low life news because y'all use the same type of genre. You say cacas and he says cacas.
Well,
Well,
clearly.
low life, no. Shout out to low life news. You know what I like about low life news? I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of people don't like him, but I'm gonna give him. I don't know who he is.
So why would it be my co-host?
Oh, I told you why.
He's a likable fella.
No,
or isn't
no,
he?
but I wanted to put it on record because I wanted to kind of I smashed that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I asked him, he said he isn't. It is what it is.
I do think it is a Spanish person because if you're using caca, you're Spanish.
So everybody thinks, some people think it's you because, that's the terminology. And that's how they put it together. But, shout out to Low Life News anyway. A lot of people don't like what he says. But, one thing I do respect with him, when I hit him behind the scenes on talking something positive, he's always with it. And I try to tell him, you gotta balance it out a little bit. I understand you can't just continue just trashing Ralph. You gotta balance it out.
And trust me, listen, I can't be low life news because the certain things that I do, it'll conflict with what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I just wanted to ask that question, but now the masses know.
Jesus
For
Christ, Prince, you didn't tell me that.
Me neither. I ain't know.
No, there's some people that's really,
first.
no, I'll be honest with you. Some people think that
News at 11.
But
News at 11.
I was like, nah. I said he's a very upfront person.
Oh my God.
He would put it out there like that. But I like to kind of, I'm a very upfront person.
Yeah,
I'm a sag, so
Listen, guys that's known me for years, I don't hide behind screen names.
Factuals.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to ask me a question, just DM me, and I was like,
Please.
Or I'll just post it.
It's all
whatever.
good, though.
I wanted to ask that question. Now
Facts.
that was my investigation reporter part.
Listen, if you guys want to
News
find
at 11.
out who's Low Life News, just follow his damn URL and then put it in Google. You can find out who it is.
Oh, wow.
I'm just telling you.
The
You
plot
told-
thickens.
I'm just telling you.
For real.
You motherfuckers use Google. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, we got pins, we got totes, support. Shout out to Teresa, because she helped out for this weekend for all my kids.
Shout out
Teresa,
to you.
I appreciate you, girl.
All day, that
All
West
day.
Coast love.
Every day. Anyway, we're out of here. So until next week. I don't know when y'all see this, actually, because we're on a break. But it may be on YouTube, guys.
Yes.
So tune in.
Definitely look for it on YouTube.
Shout out T-Mag. Love y'all.
Definitely. T-Mag, salute.
TM. And
All
once
day.
again, I
All right,
salute
guys.
you guys.
Ciao.